Hey Pac-Mans. This video is just gonna be about, look, the school system needs to change. It's not really doing anything good. I mean, it definitely is doing good, but it can be better. It can be so much better. And, these are just gonna be ideas of mine that I want to get out into. So I just want to put them out in the world, because I don't have the capability of implicating it into, well, the real world. And again, so I just want to make a video explaining, my ideas, and maybe if someone is watching that has that capability, can take it and improve upon it and actually implicate it into the system. In the end, I don't need any credit. I don't care. I just take the ideas and change the world. Seriously, I don't need credit. I just want the school system to be better, and it can be better, but we just have to change it all. So these are just gonna be my ideas. It's gonna be I might keep going back and forth because it's kinda, you have to explain one part and then you have to explain the other, and it's kinda intertwines. So speaking of that, I'm just gonna pull the camera forward. So knowing that, yes. So are my ideas gonna be like flawless? No, it's just ideas. It's not gonna be flawless at all. But maybe someone can improve upon. And seriously, like, if you have an idea too, please comment down below. Just, there's no wrong answers. We're just trying to make things better and share our ideas. Maybe someone that can do that, can see it, and make it happen, okay? So, subjects. Subjects have to change. English. So I'm gonna do subjects first, and then, or maybe I should talk about the way that I think. Okay, so maybe subjects need to change. Sorry, this is all over the place. So like the English, math, history, and science, for now, just forget about it. Just forget about those subjects at the moment and throw them out of the door. Okay, we need to make a school system with classes that better people. We don't need, it's not that we don't need it, it's just we need a place that we can learn. That might sound strange. At the moment, school is just a memory game. What about, seriously, in public school, I'll go by me. Public school, I was a straight A student most of the time. I'll learn the things that we need to learn, the words and the things, and hi. Sorry, there's a cat on me. Doop-a-doop. She just looked up. And I'll learn that for the tests and ace the tests, but I never will learn, and then I'll like Control Alt delete it in my mind. So I never, the stuff that I learned or memorized more or less never stayed, and it wasn't like the meaning of it really. I never really learned the meaning of it because it was just a memory game. The whole school system is a memory game, and it favors people with better memory capability. Does that make sense? And we need to change that. We need to change that. I'm sorry, I know this is like weird. So it's the school system, how classes are gonna work. This is gonna be flawed at the moment. Not exactly sure. Like the grading system, not like ABC grades, but like first year, second year, third year of like that stuff. I do like the idea. I should probably tell you what the system is gonna be in my man. Anime cons. Ever been to an anime con? No? Cool. So anime cons is that there's just a bunch of rooms and have activities going on at the same time. Or just like you have a schedule and be like, okay, this panel room, this will have this panel of people of cosplayers or a cosplay contest. This room will have crafts, like you can make Pokemon eggs, learn how to make Pokemon eggs. This room will have like a game show that people can watch. Or this room gonna be an improv. And like depending on like the schedule, you can go do this one if you want, or this one and this, and check out this. And if you don't like a room, you can just walk out and go to another. That's how classes should be. So you might be wondering, okay, how does homework work? No! Homework does not exist. Well, okay, fine. It does exist. It's optional. But, it'll be like a packet form, and it wouldn't be like... I'm going back to English class, okay? It wouldn't be... Or maybe not. I'll hold on to that. I don't know why I'm speaking fast. I think it's because I just need to get all this information out. So I'm speaking fast. I don't normally talk this fast. Okay. So homework will be more of like, hey, if you like this subject, here's extra information you can learn about. It's not like there's no grading system. A, B, C, D, F. Get rid of that. It will be like, if it is something like you're learning and trying to learn, not English. The reason why I keep saying English is because, okay, let's talk about English. Okay, I know this video is gonna be all over the place. Stay with me. Or maybe I should talk about classes. So we need classes that are not always educational. That sounds weird, but we need like classes that actually helps you in the real world. Like we need classes that teaches you how to do your taxes, how to buy a house, how to clean your house. I know that sounds really strange, but like daily chores and activities, like some people don't have the ability to learn how to use the washing machine or cook. We need cooking classes. We need classes that teaches you how to clean, how to organize it efficiently, maintain it. I know that, again, sounds strange. Do laundry. Clean, which cleaning products should you use to clean the windows or dust or whatever. And, we need, like, motivational classes, too. I have notes, hold on. Just motivational. We need classes that helps inspire you to follow your heart's passion. I know, that sounds weird, right? But there need to be, because so many people don't know how to do that, and we, as a society, humanity, has put so much obstacles in ways of people of achieving their heartstreams in the long term. That kind of does that make sense? We need to make school system and the whiteboard, it's like, oh, this is so all over the place. Hopefully this isn't like all over the place while you're watching it. There needs to be like classes that learns how to garden, how to keep a garden at home. I think raising chickens is a good idea. I know that sounds strange, but, and I'm not saying like it has to be all this kind of classes. There should be also, like, have you ever been to a vocational school? It's kind of like that in a way, but no homework that's obligated. And I don't think tests should be there. I think we should get rid of tests. Testing is really stressful for so many people, and schools shouldn't be grading or comparing people of how smart they are, each other. It's like, I understand wanting to know, hey, what can I help you with in this avenue to make you understand better? But I think when you allow kids or teenagers the ability to choose their own classes and, like, again, anime con style, go to this class. If they like it, they can stay. If they don't like it, they can just go out and go to another class. So when you give them the opportunity to choose for themselves, I think people would be surprised how much people want to learn. Because people do want to learn. It's just we're so obligated to learn things that we're not passionate about. And that's where it's failing. And we need to... I was trying to research how many teachers are in a middle school, per high school, and per elementary school, but I couldn't really figure that out. There was like a ratio thing per district, but I'm not exactly sure if like each district has one school or multiple schools, so I'm not exactly sure what that means. But let's say there's 30 teachers in a middle school. It doesn't have to be, 4 English teachers, 4 science, 4 history, 4 math. That can be 30 different subjects. And like taxes, houses, motivational. There's another one. Okay, there's also like, there should be a class where you can just go and talk to other students. I know that sounds strange, and it's like, well, if that's the case, then everyone's just gonna go there. But I don't think it is. I don't think that if people allowed to go and experiment with things that, to learn on their own and have that like freedom, I think people will be more encouraged in a way to learn about different things. Or maybe their friends is like really into sewing and it's like, oh, let's go to sewing class. And then their friend is like, no, I don't have any desire to go to sewing class, but since I'm your friend, I'll go with you. So they go, and then that friend discovers, oh, I actually really like sewing. And then they start doing sewing. Like, I don't think people are gonna be like staying in one class forever. And that's also the thing, is that we're not supposed to stay with one job forever. Like, you have multiple interests, right? Most people have multiple interests. If you don't, totally valid. But we shouldn't be like, oh, I want this job for the rest of my life. Because that's kind of, like, yes, that's amazing, but that's also kind of, wouldn't it be funner if you could do this for how many ever you want, like, ever interested? If you're only interested in it for like 5 years, cool, and then go to another job, cool. Or if you're only interested for a month and realize, like, you know what, that's not really what I want to do, cool. I'm talking about jobs now, not really school system. Jobs are another thing that we need to figure out. People feel like they have to be obligated to stay in a job for like years and years to make it look good on their profile, but that's another thing. But if we allow people to have the responsibility, or not responsibility, but the choice of doing whatever they want, I think it'd be cool. And sometimes, yeah, people are going to go to the lounge, let's just go in the lounge area, where people can just hang out and play board games with each other, or sleep, because a student might need that. You don't know what they're in, what kind of household they're in, what kind of family, and they might just need extra sleep, or they might just need more communication with friendlier, healthier people, students, you know? I know that sounds strange, but we all need different things. And if we just allow people to figure out what they need without any obligations, I think people will start being more happier. And when we're happier and following our passions, sorry, hold on. My cat wants to go out. I think the world's gonna change for the better. You wanna go out there? Okay, hold on. I do think people need to learn how there definitely needs to be more classes about like real world jobs and stuff, like vocationary school. But also so let me talk about my hesitation on English class. I'm a writer, if you don't know. I love writing. Writing is my passion, one of my heart's desires. Okay, so there's also multiple heart's desires you can have. You can have in a moment heart desire, and we need to be able to be okay to follow those. That sounds strange. I'm aware that sounds really strange. But like, the other day, one of my desires, I guess my heart desire, was to eat a Twinkie. I know that sounds strange. It sounds strange, I know. But we need to start allowing ourselves to be able to do it. Because a lot of people are like, oh no, it's so sweet and it's sugar and it's all bad for you. But like, I think we need, as long as we're not eating sugar all the time. Some people need more sugar than other people. That's just how their body is. And it's not like they're unhealthy. I don't know. So I ate a Twinkie and I was really happy. That's following a moment desire. We need to start following a moment desire. I'm a writer, so I tend to write a lot, but then I'll have like these desires of creating things. Do I have anything? That potion? You can't see that. Even though it's like, well, it's not like I'm gonna create these miniature clay things, clay pigeons, and sell them online, so why would I want to make a clay pigeon if I'm not gonna make money about it? We need to stop thinking about profit, or like, well, this makes no sense for me to want to do it because it doesn't have a long-term effect on my career or whatever. If you desire to do something in the moment, in general, and it's not harming you or others, do it. Seriously, do it. Because you don't know where that's gonna lead. I have a clay pigeon I created over there. You can't really see it. And it's really cute, and whenever I look at it, it makes me smile. That did not exist before I had the desire, and I created it. Go create something. Go follow your desires. Because now, every time I can look at it and I smile. So if there's a video that you want to follow, a tutorial, go follow it. Go find supplies. It doesn't have to be comes out exact. That's okay. Don't worry about perfection. Perfection doesn't exist. It just has to be. And you can look at it. And if it does turn out like a really weird monster-looking thing that's not what you were trying to create, just be like, well, now I have a monster. But it's a beautiful monster, and it didn't exist until you created it. And I think that's so wonderful. And so, if you have a desire to do something out of the normal, usual ways, do it. If you want to try a new hobby, do it. If you usually like a drawer, but you want to try out a sport, or go try it out. You might find out you like it. You might find out you hate it. But at least you know now. You know now after you try it. If you want to go volunteer, go volunteer. I mean, be safe about it. especially in our times. But, find the way that you can do it. So, we need a class that motivates you, following your heart's desire. And if it includes someone else, then you have to respect their answer. I know that sounds weird. Like, if you want to hang out with someone or to ask your crush on a date or something. Sorry, I was looking. Respect their answer. Do it. It's okay to be scared. I do a lot of things because I want to, and I'm usually scared throughout the whole process. I'm usually a nervous wreck, but I don't let fear stop me because I know I'm gonna regret it more if I never do it than regret it than doing it. Did I say that correctly? I don't know, but you understand, hopefully, I think. Also, a friend of mine, Mary Jane McNeil, said, rejection is rejection. I'm gonna butcher words. I'm not the best at remembering exact wordings, but rejection isn't rejection. Rejection is just redirection. And I like that. And sometimes maybe that person will come back around in whatever. Or maybe not. Maybe you'll find someone else, someone better. And I just like that. Rejection is redirection. Woo! So always do things, even if it doesn't go well. Even if you get rejected. It's a redirection. At least you took action. Take action. As long as it's not harming you or others, take action. And that's what you want to do. Take action. You can do it! So we need a class that encourage people to follow their heart's desire. And we need classes that also supports like different occupations. Also like hand-on jobs. So that'd be cool. We also need a class. And so going back to English, one of the things that English class was I hated English class. I'm not gonna lie. I hated English, even though I love writing. So English class is that one of the things in it, you read a book, and then you do essays and homeworks on meaning of it, of the book. And it's like, there'll be like a question like, oh, what is the meaning of this? And if you don't write down the correct answer that the homework sheet says, then you're wrong. You're wrong. And I hate that. I want to write books one day. I want to write a book series. And as an author, you do not choose what people get out of your book. You do not choose how people take the information and what they learn from it, or what kind of experience they experience with it. And it's okay to write a book one way, and have other people see it another way. Like, you can write a book one way, or a specific way, and hope that people get out what you thinking, but then it's like, you don't have a choice. You don't have like a control over it, of what others see. But the thing that I also hate is that analyzing a book, obligating, like being obligated to analyze it. This is different from meta writers. I love meta writers. I love reading meta writing writers' essays on shows that I love or enjoy, because you can see the passion in that. Like, you can see the passion of meta writers enjoying something and trying to be like, oh, this is what I think, and sharing their joy of their show that they love or enjoy or whatever. And that's amazing. But this is different because it's school and you're obligated. And so if an author writes a book one way and the people see it a different way, the people might be like, oh, this is what I see, and this is what it means. It means X, this is what the author means, X, Y, Z, and then there's like, well, no. I wrote it because I was thinking of ABC. And then the people that write the homework is like, nah, you stupid. This is what actually you mean. And then the homework forces people to all think the same. We're not supposed to be thinking the same. And it's so annoying. We're humans. We're different. We're supposed to be thinking different. And that's why I really hate English class, because it forces you to think the same. Because, look, I read Matthias and Damien Matthias has secret gay lovers. My teacher did not. Yeah, I mean, I got a B on it, so that's good. That's good. I'm pansexual. I like LGBTQA plus representation. Okay? And I know, like, being serious, of course, maybe that's not what they are, but that's how I read them. People are gonna read the same thing differently. And it's valid, because we need different things. And we get out different things. And when we share all of our different things, we start to being able to look at things with multiple perspectives. I know that sounds weird. Oh, like my mom's. The gays. So, that's my beef with English class. I don't like English, in that sense. I do think, yeah, there should be, I guess, English, math, and science, and history. History is also one that I hate. Should be available to people, because people are interested in that stuff. I do think that, there should be a scheduling. Like, every semester, there should be on a board with all the different classes, and each class there should be a different topic within, or a subtopic within the class itself. So like with math, it could be geometry week. With sorry, my parents are out and about. Maybe gardening will be like soil week. I don't know. Cooking could be like desserts, or utensils week, and you learn about the utensils. It's like it will give you the main focus of the week. So even if you're like interested in writing, maybe it's like you don't really need help in other areas, but you really need help in a specific area, like either developing the plot better or developing characters better. And like maybe you're excellent at character building, but your plot and world building needs like extra help. So when you see that the writing class is focusing on the plot that week, you can go in and check that out. So I think that's how like the school system should work. History class is also one that I do not like. So I don't. History. I think we need to get rid of it. We need to start learning about history, or about the wars. Wars, W-A-Rs. I can't say that word. Wars. We need to, I know that sounds bad, but most of it is just learning dates and names and then things. And I'm not saying that if you are interested in any of these topics that I'm getting rid of, it's okay. You can still enjoy it. I just don't think it should. I don't think it should be an obligation to learn these things. And I think with history, we need to stop relearning the past. Or there's so much of history that we learn that's just sad and bad, negative, and I'm not saying that we need to forget it. I'm not saying that remembering the past is a bad thing. I'm not saying forget about the wars and stuff. It isn't important to remember, but it's also, if we keep focusing on the negative aspects of things, that we're just gonna be, we keep learning negative, bad moments. I hate history class. I've only did it 1 year in public school. I've had, for the new people, I grew up with anxiety attacks. I hated school. I hated going to it. But then again, there were good days, and I had fun learning, and stuff. But I just had really bad anxiety attacks, and so bad. Like, I remember in 5th grade. And 5th grade was not the worst. I remember getting the end of the year report card for the whole year, and I thought, like, the on time, present, on time, absent, and tardy. On time was 0 days. Tardy was 61, and absent was, wait, so, there's 180 days, right? 180 days. Yes, 180 days. 61, 61, 80 minus 61, 9, 10, 70, 10. Yeah, so I was absent for 119 days. Does that math work out for every? Does that make sense? That's a lot. And the only reason I honestly, genuinely think the only reason that I passed is because the school was so sick of me. Like, they called the cops on me one day. Because I wasn't showing up at school. And I had really bad anxiety attacks. And one of the things that in middle school, for me to be able to, like, go and be able to be less stressed, was to take history class out. I never really went to history class in elementary school either. Because I just wasn't there. And I always, like, went to, like, half days, like, at 2 p.m. I would go to school, like, 2 hours before it ends, or an hour, because it was just that bad. I would just wake up and cry for, like, hours straight, and then once I know I wasn't going to school, I would stop. Or I would just cry for, like, hours, 3 hours straight, 4 hours, probably one day. It was bad. I don't get anxiety attacks anymore frequently. Once in a while, I do, maybe like once or twice a year, but I know how to handle it now. I'm not on any meds for it. I'm on meds, but that's because I have medical problems. I have a heart problem. So, what was I thinking? Wait, why was I talking about this? Oh, history. So, every time history class, it's just depressing. It depresses me. It's sad, and it sucks because there's so much good things about history that we should be learning. We should be learning about the positive history things. Like the inventions and architecture, there's so much wonderful, beautiful, colorful architecture. We need to bring back better architecture, like colorful ones. Ah, so good. And it's like, we should be focusing, if we are going to learn about history, we should be focusing on that. What I think history class should turn into is culture class. And again, no one's obligated to pick any of these classes. Go to any of these classes. My parents are. But I think when we start learning about each different cultures, we're gonna, excuse me, when we learn about others' cultures, we're gonna understand them more and appreciate and respect them more. Like, you know? And we need to start sharing our cultures. I'd say this without having actually any culture. Sorry. But I love learning about Native American culture. Like, I don't know why, but I'm really passionate about it, and it gets me excited. And that's what school should be about. You should be excited about learning. Not like, oh no, another day, no, blah, 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 blah. When is this gonna end? You should be excited. I know it's not gonna be every day gonna be exciting, because there's gonna be days that you're not gonna have the energy to learn about things that you're even excited about normally. And that's valid. And things happen outside of school that affect your mood, and that's valid. But most of the time you should be excited learning, not waiting for the end of the day so you can go home. There's also should be fun classes. Going back to history. As you might be like, well, wouldn't that be disrespectful for us not learning about the wars and honoring the past and stuff? We're not dishonoring. We're not forgetting. We need to start over. We keep learning about the past, and it's gonna force us to repeat the past, because that's what our mind is gonna be programmed to think of. If we're just, and I know like that's kind of scary, like, well, if you get rid of the past, we're not getting rid of it, but we kind of move it to the side, people are gonna like repeat history, is what you're probably thinking, because that's what people say, history repeats itself. Well, I think history repeats itself because we're so drilled into knowing the history that it's just unconsciously what we do. We repeat things unconsciously because that's what we're told we're supposed to do. If we break the cycle, we're supposed to break the cycle. We're supposed to break the cycle. If we stop and start over, we just need to start over. And when we start over, we get to learn new things, learn new ways, because we're not over and over and over told this is the way it was and history is repeating. Let's make history. Let's make histories, and we need to start over. Okay, another class that we need. I was thinking is that we need a class that shows different lifestyles, different people, as in like disabilities. I don't want like a class like, oh, you have to master their disability class. Like, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. We're not people that you're supposed to master. It just needs to be aware. More things to be aware. Okay, this is how I see it. So like, this class shows, teaches, learns, whatever you want to call it. Shows, I guess there isn't like any homework or classwork. It's more like, this is what other people's lives are. They're different. And that doesn't mean they're any less than you. It's just, okay. There's a word called, it's not equality, equanimity, there's another word, and everyone's very into like, oh, we need to be equal. But there's another word, and it's like, it's not equity. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but equity, I'm sorry, I don't remember. And it's like this, picture a kid, a classroom of kids, and the kid, 5 kids get hurt. The first kid got a cut on their finger, so the teacher put a band-aid. Oh look, fix. Second kid cut on the finger. Teacher put a band-aid. Fix. The third kid broke their finger. okay, put the Band-Aid on. The teacher puts the Band-Aid on, not fix. And that's that word. It means that everyone needs things. There are people that need things that are different from everyone. And that is okay, and that is valid, and that does not make it any less than. People aren't any less than when they need things that are different. Because our society isn't, at the moment, aren't really have the, how do I put it? Doesn't really support people that are different. Does that make sense? Even in the smallest ways. So, let's say a student, very into architecture, very wants to do architecture, usually goes to architecture class, learns all that stuff, kinda getting bored for some reason with that class. That's cool. They're like, well, okay, might as well find some other class for the meanwhile. And they see this different perspective class that teaches about disabilities and people. And they go to that. And they learn that, hey, people in wheelchairs, when you think of people in wheelchairs without visible differences, like a cast, like, okay, they broke their leg. That's why they're in the wheelchair. But when you don't see a visible difference, it's like, okay, they're paralyzed, is most people's first thought, is that they're paralyzed. They can't move their legs, they can't move anything down there. And then people will get really surprised when they do move their legs, when they do get up and walk a bit. And people get really confused because that's what we're taught. When you don't see a visible difference in wheelchairs, people that have use wheelchairs, that means they're probably paralyzed. But in actuality, there are so many other ways, other reasons why people are in a wheelchair. I say this with my own perspective, that I have health problems, and when I was younger, and I still do, when it's really hot out, and I go to amusement parks, I can't walk around for long periods of time, or I pass out. I can walk. I just can't walk in heat, or I get dehydrated, and, well, yeah. So, I use a wheelchair. But when we are in an air conditioner room at an amusement park, or when we're sitting down to eat, I'll get out of the wheelchair, and people will look at me like, oh, it's a miracle. It's like, no, but I'm glad you're experiencing a weird moment. I don't know, it's kind of funny to get, like, those looks like, what? They can move their legs? And it's like that. And so the architecture person will learn that there's multiple reasons, for wheelchair use. And then they will also learn that not a lot of places have accessibility for wheelchairs. So, like, especially like in buildings with stories, like, what if you're on like the 5th floor and the fire alarm goes off? And you're in a wheelchair and you can't use the elevator. That's scary. Sometimes. Yeah. So, them learning about that, about this need of this different perspective of a person's life, they are gonna grow up and be like, okay, if I'm gonna build something, I'm gonna have real accessibility, wheelchair accessibility in my things that I'm gonna build. And if they didn't had the class, I mean, I'm sure they might have learned it somewhere else. They wouldn't have learned that, you know? And I think that's why we need, like, so much. We need more personal classes than, like, you need to learn all of this class and a lot of things that we don't use in the real world. I mean, there's also maybe, like, someone wants to have a movie theater. Their dream is to have a movie theater, and they go to this different lifestyle class. I don't know what the proper wording should be. I don't want to offend anyone, but saying disability just kind of sounds bad. It's just people are different, and people just need different, and we just don't live in a world that helps that in a good way most of the time. I mean, there are things that will help, and it's nice when you do find it. But they'll go movie theater. Wants to open a movie theater. Usually takes the business courses in this environment, high school thing, school, middle school. I don't know. Again, got bored, went to this one, or maybe their friends are very into learning about different perspectives because they want to help, and then they drag along their movie theater friend because they can. Because you're not obligated to go to every class, like that's the thing. So they go and they learn about people that are hard of hearing and deaf and how the way that they experience movies is kind of sad. And not sad, but just they get a device that's very clunky, and it's sometimes not always charged, and it sometimes only it like powers up 5 minutes into the movie, so you miss the movie for the subtitles. This device gives you subtitles. Sorry, need to explain that. And it's clunky, and you have to like position it correctly. And they see this, and they're like, "Oh, wow, that sounds really bad." and look, I think if you want to enjoy going to a movie, like having a movie experience, you should not be like, what is it called? Like, be said no. You should be able to have like a fulfilling experience to watch a movie, no matter how different you are. Okay? So maybe the movie theater lover, sees that, and then when they grow up, instead of like when they have movies in their movie theater, every other week, all the screenings on like week 2 and week 4 of each month is open caption. All the movies, does not matter what kind, is open caption week. And that will get media be like, whoa, this theater has open caption week of 2nd and 4th week of the month. And then that's gonna inspire other movie theaters to open up and do the same thing. And see, oh, they can still be in business and do this. And have more people being allowed to have access, have a more better experience than they did previously. And you'd be surprised about how many things that you miss in movies when you have like open caption on, or if you put on closed caption. I put closed caption on TV, and I'm surprised about all the things I miss. Like, cause it's surprising. So, we need to have like a class that shows different perspective, different lifestyles. And then again, it does not mean they're any, like, we're better. No. No one's better. We're all the same playing field. Even kids, you can learn from kids. I don't care if you're an adult. I don't care if you're a parent. You can learn from your kids. Your kids sometimes are more mature than adults or their parents. And we need to start allowing, like, kids should not feel obligated or pressured to be like, oh, I'm born into this world, so I must obey your commands, or I must, like, feel guilty for being born. No, don't feel guilty for being born. If your parents are not the best to you, then maybe they're not your parents. You need to go find your own family. Like, I know that sounds weird, but like, found family does exist. And it's hard, but it's possible to find them. And you just need to find people that aren't toxic. Also, that's also a class. Learning the difference between healthy and toxic relationships. And stepping up in your own and like staying in your truth. So when you stay in your truth and like not told, or like if people tell you that something negative, like you're this and you're things like this and you deserve this bad thing and this stuff, just say no. I'm like politely, unless they need to be called out, because some people need to be called out. But like do it in not a negative way. I know that sounds weird. But we need to learn how to realize what a toxic and healthy relationship is and what we want out of a relationship. And be okay of having that kind of standards, but not like you can always enjoy someone's company without being friends. I hate kid shows that teaches you that like everyone should be friends, and it's like, no. Not everyone's gonna be your friend, and not everyone's gonna be obligated to feel the same way that you feel about them. Whether it's platonic or romantic, and you just have to accept that, respect that, okay? When you figure out how to get praise from yourself and not from like outside sources, you can do anything. Like you can, it's so much freeing. So one thing that I was little is that I remember I used to write these things, and then I'll give it to an old best friend of mine, and I would be like, here, tell me you love it, tell me what do you think of it, please love this, please love this, I just spent all this work on it, and you know, and then they will go and mark things and be like, oh, you spelled this wrong, or this grammar sucks, or and all that stuff, and critic it, but not in like a nice way, and then they give it back and I'll feel really bad. Not good. Because I was expecting that praise. I was seeking that praise. So when you start learning how to seek praise within yourself, when you start writing things with the praise that like, oh, I wrote this script and I love it so much and it's funny, it makes me smile, I enjoy it so much. Here, friend, which is now my other friend that's here, friend, which is someone else. I want to share it with you because I love this script and I want to know your opinions on it so I can improve it better for everyone. Do you see the difference? It's not that I was seeking that new friend's praise. It's just I was looking for help to improve upon something that I already like, that I already got praise from myself, or that I wrote, and I love it, and I want it to make it better. And that's what I'm concerned that people aren't learning, and that kids' shows are teaching kids to get praise from other people. I might be overthinking about it, of course, but it's like, I don't know. I just don't like that everyone has to be friends with each other. Because then if someone isn't your friend or doesn't want to be your friend, that kid might think that there's something wrong and seek out their praise even more. And no one should feel obligated to be friends with someone, okay? Because that's valid. Just don't be mean about it. Please don't be mean about it. But you can be like, hey, I don't particularly want to be friends with you, but I hope you find someone else that does. Like, and maybe not those words, but like, you understand what I mean. Right? And we need a class that encourages people to find a class that needs to encourage people on how to healthy express emotions, how to, because there are healthy ways. We're humans, we're supposed to feel. There are healthy ways and there are not so healthy ways. Healthy ways is if you're angry, go outside in the backyard or maybe and just roar or yell. That might be concerning to some neighbors. So maybe do it in like a place where you don't concern anyone. Go find some people group of friends. Maybe they want to go to the mountains and roar with you. And just roar, get that anger out. I'm serious. Do exercise. Sometimes exercise helps. Write it down. Write things down. And from I don't particularly get angry. I do get sad. And for me, hello. Sorry, I was just saying hello to my friend. So for me, when I've been into I've been in a few toxic friendships. A major one throughout my life. It was really good. I needed them when I needed them, and I don't mean any ill will to them at all. We just okay. So when people talk about toxic friendships or toxic relationships, they tell you that they know. They're aware, and they're manipulating you. They're aware, they're using you as a pawn, they're using you something. They're a big, scary monster. But what they also don't tell you that they can also be your best friend that's just loves and cares you and tries to help you in all the wrong ways. And it hurts, because you care about them and they care about you, but you just don't too eggshelly, or you keep getting fights, and it's you should never feel eggshelly in a friendship. But sometimes it's also a matter of fact that they don't realize it, or the other person doesn't know about it. I remember I was in an eggshelly situation, and I just had to speak up and be like, hey, I kind of feel like this when you talk about this. Can you not? And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I had no idea. I didn't realize that. And how would they? Of course they wouldn't, because you are acting like that's not a bad idea at all. Like, you know? And even through texting, it's like you can't tell their tone about things. So, there should be a class that helps teaches people how to have a healthier or figure out what's a healthy and unhealthy relationship, signs, and how to speak up when something is eggshelly or stuff. Because honestly, it might literally just be that. It might be like, hey, I need to tell you that this doesn't really fit for me. I don't really feel great when you do this. And it might be, oh, okay, at least I know now, and the friendship goes back to being normal. Or it might be, they see this and then they laugh at you, and then they're like, they continue it. And if they do not respect you, then you don't need that in your life. I know that's hard. I have broken up a friendship that at the beginning of 2020, and it was one of the most hardest things for me, because I care about that person so much, but it was just super toxic. We talked about things, we tried to make it work, we just couldn't. It was just, and it wasn't like they're all to blame. I also gaslighted them. They would always end up in tears. I would always feel bad. And stress out, and it was just too stressful. So I had to end it. And I do not mean any ill will towards them at all. I hope they find their happiness, because they do deserve happiness. They do deserve people that light and brighten up their world. And for them to do the same to them. And that's the thing. We are not supposed to all be friends, because sometimes we need different people. And kids jokes make it seem like, oh, you need to be friends with everyone. I don't know what that voice was. And it's like, kids are growing up, or well, at least I think, that like, if someone doesn't want to be their friends, then they think something is wrong with them, because TV shows says so. And it's okay to not be friends with everyone. It's okay to not be wanting to be friends with everyone. Yeah. So we need classes that support that and support healthy relationships, healthy expression of emotions. So yes, expressing emotions. We're humans, no matter what gender you are, if you're a girl, a boy, non-binary, gender fluid, other, your emotions are valid. Guys, especially guys, this goes for everyone, but guys, you're allowed to be emotional, you're allowed to feel, you're allowed to cry. And just because you're crying, that does not mean you're not, you can still protect people that you care about, you can still protect even if you cry, okay? You can cry. And you're also allowed to be vulnerable too. And I hate that society is like, be a man, don't show, blah blah blah. Show it. You're allowed to show it. It's hard because that's how guys are taught when they grow up. Sorry, I'm like very passionate about that because I've had multiple conversations with different guys about deep conversations, totally different topics, but they all said similar things. Is that like, oh, I've never told anyone about this, or I've never told anyone about these feelings before. And they're not romantic, they were platonic feelings, just being vulnerable, open up. I've never talked about to anyone about any of this. And it's sad because you guys are allowed to. And yes, it's gonna be weird, it's gonna be different when you start doing it. But the more you do it, the easier it gets. Same with like following your heart's passion, asking. It's just, the more you do it, the easier it gets. It's still gonna be scary. I don't think that fear for me ever goes away whenever I like ask someone to hang out or on a date or something. I've only asked someone out on a date once, but that was nerve-wracking. But I still did it. But it's like that. Don't let fear stop you. And if you are emotional, for everyone, this is also code for everyone. Good ways when you're sad, don't spiral. When you have negative thoughts, just tell them to shut up or go away or scream in your head. You have to keep being consistent. Another good way is writing out whatever you're feeling, speaking it out loud to a camera. Thirdly, go get a camera, film yourself, go in a room alone, just speak it. It works, it helps. I remember I had a crush that every time I heard her name, I'm pansexual, I would get a really bad heartache and pain, and things happened between us that wasn't really fun. And all that kind of came back when I saw her years after school. And because I never dealt with it, I just pushed it aside because the friendship ended and I didn't have to think about her anymore, but her name kept coming up because it's relatively a common name, I guess. And with that, and it went on for years. Every time I heard her name, I would get sad, ache. And then it wasn't until I saw her, just bumped into her. She was very pretty still, very nice, funny. So the conversation lasted only a few minutes. We hugged. I cried that night. And the way that I finally let go of her emotionally, because I didn't realize I was holding on to her still, is that I talked about it with my mom, that I never did at all. So just talk about it with someone and talk about it out loud. I also wrote about that scenario, literally bumping into her. with all the emotions. Like, I just spilled all the emotions. I did not constrain myself. I just wrote it all out. You can write it all out and you can delete it. You don't really have to do anything with it. But I'm a writer, so I might put that in my book. Yeah. 'Cause it's a lot. It's like, the feeling was that I knew it was bad to go back to her, to become friends with her again. But I was so desperate, and I was surprised how desperate I was when I said hi. And I don't think I said her name. I don't really particularly say people's names when I say hi or hey. I usually just say hey, but like if I say their name, that's usually, and I don't say people's names because I'm just kind of worried that I'm gonna say someone's name wrong, even if it's like Sarah, like, or something like really common or something. It's like, I don't want to say it incorrectly because it's a pretty name, but it's like, what if I say it incorrectly? Because I have a paralyzed vocal cord, so it's like, eh. The reason why I said Sarah, because Sarah board is whatever, you don't really need to know. So we need to learn about how to emotionally let go of things healthy and express our emotions healthy. Because it is okay to be sad, it's okay to be silly, it's okay to be happy. The thing, although I really hate, is that people are scared of being happy. Wouldn't you love to live in a world where you don't have to be scared of being happy? Because you understand how to let go of those emotions, of those sad, anger, emotions, other emotions, in a healthy way. So you don't have to like be worried that you're gonna stay like this or how long I'm gonna be happy. You're just gonna be living in the moment and expressing yourself. And you're supposed to be emotional throughout the whole day. Like, that's not like, I'm not happy 24/7. I get angry at things. Get annoyed a lot. I don't really get angry actually, but I do get annoyed a lot. But only for a moment or two, and then I laugh it off. But again, speaking out loud. If you have a problem, like, sorry, my back hurts. If you have a problem or difficult situation, if you keep making obstacles in your head, because that's also a thing that we humans do, is that speaking it out loud. Grab a camera, speak it all out loud. It doesn't have to be like linear. You can go back and be like, I blah 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 blah. Oh wait, I mean da 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 da. I mean wait, this means this. You just need to speak it out. Because when you get things stuck in your head, it's like kind of like earplug cords. They just kind of get tangled and tangled. I know this kind of is going on about not really school, but it's like a ball of twine that's tangled, and when you speak it out loud, it comes out in like one thread. And it's okay if you go back and forth about topics as long as it's coming out. And sometimes the more you speak about it, the easier you will understand. And it's like, oh, okay, I just needed to do this. Oh, I just needed to express this. Sometimes you just need to express it, or just have someone listen to you, or stuff. Sometimes you need advice. Ask for advice if you need to. It's valid. We all need help. Does not mean you're any lesser than. We're not any lesser than anyone. Hello. So, seriously, speak it out. You're not comfortable speaking it out with other humans. Camera, by yourself. With stuffed animals. Literally, go grab a stuffed animal and be like, hey, I'm not feeling good. This is the problem. Seriously, I know that sounds weird. We have to be weird again. We need to stop being all serious. Also, going back to the classes, we need to have a dollhouse. What is it? Yeah, dollhouse class. What does that mean? And when I mean dollhouse class, I mean for like teenagers. And that sounds really strange, but it's gonna be, in my mind, 4 classes connecting. Like when you connect. One class is set up as like a restaurant, has play food. The other class, modern home, maybe not modern. The other class can be like a castle. The other one can be a pirate ship. And when you go to this class, you become whatever you want to be. It's gonna be awkward for teenagers for a bit, but like, just play house. Oh, that's what it is. House, not dollhouse. Sorry about that. And it's gonna be weird, but we need weird. We need to be silly again. We need to have fun. We adults need to have fun. Teenagers need to have fun. We need to have fun. We need to bring back fun. Because when we start having fun, things are gonna change for the better. People are gonna learn things about themselves and want to improve about things. It's not like, oh, we're gonna run out of things that we're gonna be fun about. No, we're gonna create things. When we're fun, we create things, okay? We want to share. So dollhouse, or house, class. I know, that sounds weird. I always loved house. When like in kindergarten, I was always like the cat or the dog. And then like the other people were like the husband and the wife and the children. And I'm like, oh, can I be the kitty? And I'll be like walking down the floors and be like all on four. I love that class. And we need to have that class for teenagers. Because, yes, we need to bring back that weird silliness. Improv class is also a nice thing to have. But yeah, is that all? Oh, also, so since there won't be like any assigned classes for you and there won't be like any major tests, I don't think there should be tests. Is that all the textbooks for classes that need textbooks? Because yes, of course, there's gonna be classes that you need to learn and they have textbooks. All the textbooks are gonna be in the classes. You don't need to buy anything, you don't need to bring anything, you can just come and go. I don't know if I talked about the homework, but homework is probably like a packet of learning things that you can help learn more and just like help the teacher figure out what you need to learn more. And you can like be like, hey, I want to learn more about this specific thing about this. Can you help me about that? So, and then you turn it in. All homework is due Friday. I know that sounds really weird, but all homework is due Friday, and it's your responsibility if you want to pick up your homework from last week. If you forget, yeah, I think they're gonna be like a 2-week thing. So if you miss the next Friday, that's cool. If you miss it the next Friday, they can just get rid of your trash your homework. I know that sounds kind of rude, but it's your responsibility. If you want to learn more about a specific thing, I think people are going to be more inclined to have more be okay with responsibility when they're passionate about something, like passionate about learning. And then so yeah, our desired class. I think I said everything. I don't know if I said everything per se. Am I missing anything? The tree? Okay, I can go back around. So, heart passion class. It is possible you have a heart passion in something that you're not able to do at the moment. And that is okay. That is valid. I want to act. I want to write. At the moment, I'm just writing scripts. I want to make movies. Eventually. And at the moment, I don't have the capability of writing movies. Or, not writing movies, making movies. I have the capability of writing. So, what do I do now? Well, I can write. That's what I can do. And for 3 years now, I've been writing this script called this hero script, and I'm almost completely done with it. It's not completely finished at the moment, but I just have to reread it again. It's long. I might have to cut it down. At the moment, I don't have any desire to cut it down. I'm not really getting any signs to cut it down, which is kind of very suspicious to me, because it's a 4-hour long movie. But I'm not getting any signs. I'm a spiritual person. My spirits aren't telling me to cut it down. I'm kind of following their lead sometimes. I mean, I'm following my lead. like I want to make a movie and they're helping me. They're just, spirits are there. I mean, you have to be aware of what kind of spirits. Just, I got spirituality class should also be a thing, but like only positive things. Like the way to talk to spirits. Like you have to like say out loud, spirits, I only want help, or I only want guidance from those that have, or those that, I say this all the time, why am I stuttering now? So usually it's like, oh, I want guidance from the highest and greatest good of all evolved. That means no harm to me or done through me. Everyone else go away, thank you, have a nice day. Meaning just spirits that will help you figure out, or like motivate you, help you out with whatever you want to do. In a good way, like all involved for me is humanity. No harming to me or through me, meaning you don't want to like mess up someone's day because they're like, oh, take this action, but if you don't clarify that like you don't want to mess up someone's day or harm anyone, don't want to harm anyone, you're gonna might harm someone's day, make them feel like crap, and you don't want to do that because it's just why. Also, I guess karma's a thing, so that's gonna come back at you, but like seriously, why do you want to mess up someone's day if you can do it in a positive way? I don't understand. So just say that, and then your thoughts is like how they talk to you. It took me like a year to figure it out, to start talking to spirits, and it's really nice. So they haven't really told me to cut it down yet. And I have asked them, I'm like, should I cut this down? It's a 4-hour movie, and then I don't know, maybe one day I'll cut it down, but at the moment, I think I have to focus on other things. And this is what I want to do, focus on school system now. I still have to, see, I got bored with writing Hero, and now I'm doing this. Do you see what I'm trying to say? People are gonna get bored about their own heart's desired passions to follow someone other passion, and that is completely okay. You should just follow your moments of passion. And a lot of people are like, oh, we're trained to be repeating things because that's all we've learned, that if you repeat something, that's progress. Sometimes progress is taking a break and following something else, because you might figure out, oh, same with like the architecture, accessibility, wheelchair thing. You might figure out something to aid you in that passion. Or it might be a pigeon thing. You might just have a cute little clay pigeon, okay? Like, seriously, it might literally have nothing to do with your other hard passions, but that's okay. And we need to start allowing ourselves to do that and making it okay for other people, and learn that it's okay to do that. You don't have to be consistent to progress. I'm getting passionate about this. So, speaking of writing, I'm almost done with my script. But the thing is, if I didn't start writing it 3 years ago, I wouldn't be here where I am right here today. And if I do make this into a movie one day, I wouldn't have the script that early on if I didn't start writing it 3 years ago. You know, there's a saying, I don't remember who it is said it, but the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is today. You don't have to complete, you don't have to complete your art passions overnight. You don't have to learn it all. You don't have to master it all overnight. You can just take little progress. If you want to be an actor, go act. Go find your favorite role that you love and just print out lines of that character and act it out. You don't have to show it to anyone. Just film it. If you don't even have any films, if you don't have like any other people that can play the other characters, play it them yourself. Or put a stuffed animal there. Have a stuffed animal play it. Have your dog play it. Have your cat play it. have your invisible friend play it. And then go in the editing software thing and just do a voiceover for your invisible friend. It sounds weird, it's gotta look funny. It doesn't have to be professional. It doesn't have to be perfect. You have to take action. That's also another class. You need to take action. Learning how to take action in a positive, healthy way. And there's so many other classes that are more worldly, like jobs and stuff I think we need. And yeah, I think that's all. Is that all? Yes? I did it. I've been really making this video for like a few weeks now. I've been holding it off. And then I got assigned to make it now. So yeah, kinda had to be pushed and a lot. I'm kinda stubborn and lazy about things. Even if I want to do it, I tend to like drag my feet sometimes. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. But yeah. Wow, this is 126 minutes video. Whoa. Probably not my longest. So yeah. In short, school system needs to change subjects, needs to be anime con style classing. I know that might, I think the grading system, like like 7th grade, 8th grade, and 9th grade middle school should just be all open. I do like the idea of different age mingling because it shows that you can learn from anyone. You can be friends with anyone. I guess like when you're like a young kid, like elementary, it might be like a bit like elementary school would probably be different because it'd be like kids need supervision, adults, like the small younger kids. But I think once you get to 1st grade and 5th grade, I think you can all intermingle, I think. And that's, again, if you have any better ideas about this, there's gonna be tons of flaws in this. Share your ideas in the comments. Improve upon my ideas. They're not flawless. They are not flawless. And yeah, please improve upon them. If you can take these and implicate them to the real world, do it. I don't need credit. I do not need credit. Take the credit. Seriously, just change the world. Yeah, that's about it. So the little ones might need like an adult class, like kindergarten. Maybe kindergarten still exists, but like not like with a lot of homework or work. It's more, I think kindergarten should just be more like a play thing. And then I think people will be surprised how kids, when you give kids the options to do with whatever you want to do, kids are gonna start, kids know themselves more than you do. And kids are more smarter than anyone thinks they are. Like, they don't give kids enough credit how smart they are. Like, especially when they're passionate about something. Like, when they get the ability to be passionate about something that they're not obligated to be passionate about, or like learn, and be able to learn whatever they want. They're gonna be passionate, and you're gonna be surprised. And I know this might be like, people are gonna be like, well, that's not fair. I just graduated school. Why is it changing now? Yes, it's not fair. It should have changed a long time ago. But I want a world where people don't have to say that anymore. People don't have to be like, this isn't fair. I should have changed. I just did all this and now it's changing. I don't want people to say that anymore because I want it to change. If we don't change it now, it's not gonna change. It's not gonna change. And we need change. The only consistent thing in life is change. This is all over the place. I hope this makes sense of something. Again, grades, I don't know. I don't know with this implicated. I don't know how many years people should be staying in school, if it should be open up to like have adult schooling now. There should also be a class that's like nighttime class where like you go and you just have fun. The glow in the dark tag. Turn off all the lights and then you're glow in dark, and then you have like glow in the dark markers and you like go when you like pass the other teammates and stuff, and just have fun. We need to bring back fun activities, fun classes. It doesn't have to be all learning this for your careers or this for the world. It can be just house class. It can be sleeping class, motivational class. Well, I guess that's career-wise or lifestyle. It can be like painting class, but in a way it's like no judgment class. Figuring out how to have no judgment for other people, have no judgment for you, yourself. We need to stop judging ourselves and other people. We need to learn, and just activity board game classes, because sometimes we just need to hang out with other people, because that's what we want to do. Just follow our moments of what we want to do. Yeah. Seriously. I think that's all. I think that's really all. So yeah. I hope you guys share your ideas in the comments. I hope this gets something going. Again, I don't have the capability to change it, but here's the ideas. Take the ideas. Yeah, also college needs to be free. I'm not exactly sure how college works. It might be just like the same, but with more educational classes, you know? Like, I do know, like, with the, every mingling thing, it might be like, well, this might be too advanced for other people, but I don't think it might. Maybe with the scheduling thing, remember I talked about, like, how each class should have a schedule out and, like, a subtopic? Maybe it'll be like, oh, advance this. But, again, I don't think it's gonna be a problem, because people that are passionate will ask for help when they're like, hey, I don't understand this, but I'm passionate. Can you please help me understand more? And the teacher will be helpful. Also, teaching. Teachers, getting rid of the homework as an obligation, it'll be less stressful to teachers. It'll be less stress for teachers, less stress for students. Also, the teachers should have passion for whatever they're teaching. Cause I love, I hate history, but the only class that I took in 9th grade was the only history class I took in public school in 9th grade. Is that the teacher, she was so passionate about history that I, myself, that hate history, started to enjoy history because she was so passionate. She would get so into, like, the speeches and stuff, and she would, like, put her foot on my desk, and it's like, whoa. I also had a crush on her. Okay, wait, I didn't have a crush on her, but I was attracted, okay? I'm just attracted to people that are passionate about things. I don't know, passionate looks good on people, okay? And yes, teachers should be passionate about whatever they're teaching. And I'm not saying that they have to be passionate every day, because there's gonna be outside forces and stuff that their energy isn't gonna be 100%, and that's okay. That's okay. They're human too. They can have days that they're not passionate about things. But for the majority of the time, they should be at least passionate about it. And be friendly to the students. Students are not below teachers. Teachers are not higher than students. We're all trying to learn something and trying to figure out what we want to learn and passionate about stuff. And we're all living on this earth. Might as well try to enjoy it. Earth is not supposed to be like a ride that we're waiting to get off of. Let's make it enjoyable. Let's enjoy this ride. But we have to change it. We have to start over. Okay? Let's make history, not repeat it. So, remember, packmates, be you, be true, and be free. Whew. Oh, it's 35! One more thing. I don't know where this is gonna be, and Joel edited this in, so it's not at the end of the video. You can heal. I don't care. You can heal emotionally, mentally. You can heal no matter what you've been through. Look at this. Look at this. It's a scar. See scars? Wait, see the scars? Those are physical signs that you can heal. That you're able to heal. Mentally, it's not visible, but you are able to mentally heal. No matter. And I know, like, this is visible proof, and like mentally, you're like, well, you can mentally heal. But people are so concerned about like 3D proof, and that's okay. I understand. I'm one of those people. I'm trying not to be. But if you can visibly heal your physical body, you can mentally heal. It might not see it, but it might, but you can. You can. And I know, like, people would say you can't, but it's like, you can. It might take a while. It might take a long time. It might not take a long time. It just depends on how able you are to release the emotions, to let go of the negativity, how to release it. And if you can do that faster, then you can heal faster. And you can heal. Serious. And it's like, I hate when people are like, oh, you need to be in therapy for history. No, you don't. No, you don't. This is physical proof that you can heal. Mentally, you have thoughts, right? You have emotions. You can't really see the emotions if you're not expressing it. So, what you mean? You can heal. You can scar emotionally. That sounds better than it is, but it is a form of healing. It might not be the same, but it's possible to heal. And it's good to heal. Okay? And we need to have classes that shows you how to heal and healthy express your emotions and stuff and let go of things. Okay? Sorry, I should make a video about my therapy things, because therapy is good. I'm not saying it's bad. I just had a thing with a therapy website that I should probably speak up on. But I'll do that another time. Hope you're having a lovely day.